guys, the Fire Brothers here. It's just me. My brother couldn't be here today because he was arrested by Barricade due to illegal energon trading charges. Knowing Squeaker, he will probably be out of jail the next day. You know, some very powerful people. But anyways, these are the jokes. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Now that we're taking a break from talking about news about Transformers 1, Transformers 9, and Reactivate, I'm gonna do a video talking about the one and only Studio Series Megatron and the many alternate modes this figure has. I don't think it will be a very inaccurate statement to say that Transformers Bumblebee Movie Megatron is the most customizable Transformers figure of all time. If not, it's pretty up there. Ever since this figure was first announced, it has surprised us. You know, its release basically announced the Studio Series concept toy line, which basically opens the door for tons of characters that, while they didn't appear in the movies, there was tons of concept art, models, animatics, and all that jazz about them. There's also the fact that this is basically our Bumblebee movie / reboot universe Megatron, a character that we've been speculating for years as to not only where he was, but how would he look like. And oh boy, this figure did not disappoint. It's generally considered to be one of Studio Series' best figures to date, and honestly, I wouldn't disagree. I personally don't have the figure myself. I really want to, so if someone was to super chat me $50 so I can get it from Amazon, that'd be great. But today, we're gonna go over the many fan modes, alternate modes that people have made about this Megatron, and I'm gonna be ranking them from best to worst. It's a bit different from my usual type of video. I usually do explain betas and that kind of stuff, but Megatron here is a very unique / special case, so I thought it could be fun just taking a look at all the many wild transformations that people have turned him into. And before I go on, this is a Patreon sponsor video. It was one of my patrons, Shaking Horn, that recommended I do this, so credit for the idea and for a lot of the pictures in this video comes from him. So first I'm gonna go over the many modes, and then I'm gonna give my own power ranking as to how will I rank them from best to worst. But before we go on, I want to make an announcement that we do have a Discord server. If you guys want to join, you know, it's free. You guys are more than welcome to join with the link in the description down below. I feature art from there in my videos from time to time. Today's art comes from Brush Ranger, which appropriately enough made this drawing of Megatron explaining what he was doing during the Bumblebee movie. Eating pancakes. It's actually a pretty cute drawing and I genuinely do like it. Keep up the good work, Bruce Ranger. But anyways, we also have a Patreon and channel membership, so consider donating if you feel like it. Okay, I'll stop. So our first mode will be just the robot mode. It's basically, you know, how he comes in the packaging, not much to say there. It's the basis for all alternate modes. To me, this is a very 10 out of 10 design. It might be cheating a bit since, you know, its base mode is just how he was meant to look like by Hasbro officially. This Megatron design is just so sex. I love it so much. I have literally no complaints with it. Then we have the tank mode, also by Hasbro. I'll be honest, I do like the tank here. My only complaint is that it doesn't look very accurate to the concept art, but keep this bit of information in mind because it's going to become very relevant later. It looks maybe a tad bit too basic, but I don't mind it. I think it's just fine. 8 out of 10. Next up, we got the Jet mode. Again, another officially made alternate mode by Hasbro, so this is the last of the official ones. But as for the Jet, I like it, but not that much. It almost looks like a Laserbeak in a weird type of way. But overall, I don't have much to say about this, in all honesty. It is a Jet. It doesn't really blow me away, but I'll give it, like the tank, an 8 out of 10. Now,
things are getting real tonight.
Now this will be our first alternate mode, our first fan-made alternate mode for him. And this is basically what kind of started everything, made by Reddit user IvanDasMC. He made this alternate gun mode for Megatron, which is supposed to be a reference to the G1 Megatron. And the fact that this almost looks intentional, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know Hasbro said they're not doing gun Megatron anymore, but I mean, this just looks so good. It's honestly kind of surprising. Look, it even comes with a little trigger and everything, though it doesn't shoot anything. Honestly, I love the G1 reference here. I think this is fantastic, but I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 for creativity. Okay, this one's surprising. Elephant mode made by Hyto Creations, and I'm not gonna lie. If he had the trunk in there, it will look more like an elephant. If anything, this looks more like a bear. I might be thinking about getting bear modes here, but this was made by Hyto Creations on YouTube and on Twitter. This is my first time seeing it, in all honesty. It is a little hard to see the elephant in it, but now that I see the trunk, I actually like it quite a bit. I was about to call this clickbait. we don't talk about those. This is definitely kind of clickbait. But overall, yeah, I actually really like it. Being creative is definitely an elephant. I can totally see it now. 9 out of 10. Next up, we have Robots in Disguise 2001 Megatron hand. Now again, look, all the alternate fan modes that people have made, some of these are better than others. Well, this does look like a hand, and oddly enough, it reminds me of that concept art for that scrap Transformers Age of Extinction sequel movie. I don't like it quite as much, because I mean, you just say hand, but I only see 4 fingers, and yeah, I know, like the little bottom thing could be the finger, but I feel like that's a stretch. Some of these alternate modes are not made equally, some of these are better than others, but I can see what they were going for here. Do I like it? Yeah, it's okay, but at the same time, it's not something I feel like you're gonna want to turn your Megatron into. And this was made by Shoutout Creations again, same guy. I'm gonna have to give this a 6 out of 10. Next up, we got Spider Tank, also made by Hightail Creations, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like this one. Okay, maybe it's the photography. I think it's definitely the photography, but it looks like it can even be like man up by someone. Like somebody here is using Gun Megatron as a turret, and that's what I like so much about this. It looks so cool. I honestly have no complaints about it. If this was Megatron's actual, you know, replacement for the gun mode in the movie universe, I wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, if anything, I think this is cool. So I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Actually, I really like it. It's simple but elegant. What the hell? Okay, I'm watching some of these for the first time, okay, guys? I haven't looked at them until this recording, but Dead Ostrich. Yes, seriously. Also made by Hightail Creations on YouTube/Twitter. As far as representing an animal goes, I definitely see the ostrich here more than I saw the elephant. So, God, it looks so weird. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say about this. You know what, I'm just gonna give the ostrich a 9 out of 10. Yes, I know it's ridiculous, but come on, it's wow. Okay. Next up, we got the Tumbler Tank, which is trying to recreate the artwork that we saw for Studio Series Megatron, the one where, you know, where the little designs that the people behind Studio Series made. And this honestly looks like a more accurate tank, and for that reason I kind of like it, because between this tank and the tank for the concept art, I kind of like the tank for the concept art a bit more. I might be on the minority on this, but I think this looks cool. Like, it's the kind of thing that gives you mobility, and it looks slick. Like, it looks alien enough to be a tank, and I like that. That's actually one of the reasons why I like the Bumblebee Movie Seeker so much. The triangle jet plane makes them look so weird and alien. They don't look like Earth jets, they actually look alien without, you know, looking like a bunch of like meshed up metal, which a lot of the Babers was. So I actually like this quite a bit. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Then we have Metal Gear Rex, made by Yu Tasako. And yes, I guess this is a Metal Gear reference. I feel like just for that alone, I should give it a 10 out of 10. Okay, this looks actually kind of sick. Like, it definitely looks like a Metal Gear mech. I don't know, like, it looks cool. I just don't love it that much, alright? Like, it looks kind of weird. But, as a fan mode, I think it looks quite cool. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Next up, we got Submarine, made by Discord and Twitter user RJC Madness. This looks interesting. It honestly looks more like a jet to me. Like, I would have not gotten Submarine have you not told me about it. I like it, but I don't like it that much. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we have the animated helicopter mode. Now, this one's kinda cheating, since you do require the leader animated Megatron swords to recreate this look, which surprisingly enough seems to be compatible with the Studio Series Bumblebee movie version. Other than that, this looks cool. It definitely looks more like animated than anything. But again, it is kind of cheating because you do need an accessory to make this fan mode. So I want to give it a 10 out of 10 because I love animated and I love this reference. And the fact that that fits so well is insane. But again, it is cheating because it's an accessory. So I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10, unfortunately. Next up, we got the alternate jet, which is a variation of the jet mode. Honestly, I like this more than the base jet mode. The base jet mode didn't do it for me. It looked too compact, too small. This makes him look a whole lot taller, kind of like an actual jet. It's wider, but I don't know. You know, actually no, I like it more than the jet mode, but I still not sure if I will rank it a 10 out of 10. Actually give it a 9 out of 10. I personally like it a lot, but at least from what I'm seeing, I'm not entirely convinced by its look. Next up, we got Turret, which I mean, yeah, to be fair, we kind of had a few turrets here, and I feel like this looks a tad bit too similar to the pistol, in all honesty, just without the trigger and like the handle to hold it. It looks cool. This definitely does look like a Cybertron turret. Like, this actually totally brings back memories of like those concepts that Last Open will make, and it will be like a turret shotgun on Cybertron. Like, I think that when I see this, and that's what I really like about it. However, I feel like it's too similar to the gun mode, so I can't give it that high of a rating. So I'm gonna go with a 7 out of 10. And then we have alternate gun mode from TFW 2005 user Carodan. Again, this looks way too similar to the gun. I don't know if I like the gun better than this. I mean, the gun looks more practical, like I actually see someone holding it. However, this gun looks not as practical. There's not a clear trigger. I mean, there's one there, but it's so tiny. I don't like it as much. I feel like it's trying to replicate greatness, and that's what I don't like about it so much. So I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10. Sorry, Carodan. And next up we got the Tetrajet, which is, I think it's trying to replicate like the Seekers from Cybertron, which, you know, I like that. It's trying its best. Maybe the picture, the angle here is not the best, at least on the picture I'm looking at. But it's trying, but that's just it. I feel it's trying, but I don't think it's succeeding all the way there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10 as well. Like, I like it, but not as much. Next up, we have Jetpack for Studio Series 38, Bumblebee Movie Optimus. Again, by TFW 2005 user Carodan. And now, this man has blown it out of the park. The fact that you can turn Megatron into a jet, and the fact that it looks this good, is honestly surprising. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but the thing is that as we go later down the iceberg, you'll see that people have recreated this look, but to better effects. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to also give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like I'm being so mean to Carodan. Carodan, my man, if you're watching this video, I am so sorry. But to me, it almost looks like he's about to fall down, and that's why I don't want to give it that high of a score. But next up, we have Jetpack for Studio Series 102 Optimus by Twitter user SmokingGray775. Now, this looks cool. When I first saw this, I legitimately thought this was an upgrade cake for Optimus Prime. It wasn't until I read the comments where I found out that this was actually Megatron turned into a jetpack for Optimus Prime. And the fact that he holds the gun, and it reminds me of the Skybound comics where he's all like, you know, how you feel about going on the offensive. Like, this is so unbelievably cool. I love it. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. I think this is the jetpack from before, but perfected. Next up, we got Transformers Prime Alt Mode. Now, I think this is probably what I really want on my alternate Megatron fan modes. I want them to actually look like it's intentional and not there's a bunch of parts missing. The problem with the other jets was that if you look at the bag, you clearly see like there was like a big chunk of it missing. But this is compact enough, and you know, it kind of blends in both vehicle modes enough that it looks like its own thing. It's supposed to mimic Transformers Prime, which, I mean, not entirely. If you didn't name this after Transformers Prime, I feel like this could stand even better by itself. But honestly, I really like this. It's a nice combination between the two vehicle modes. If this was Megatron's flying mode, I would have no problems with it. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I actually really like this. Next up, we have alternate stock tank mode, made by TFW 2005 user Dachand. And honestly, I like it. I guess I don't like it as much as the jet mode. I definitely do like it though. It's trying to blend in both vehicle modes and even the concept art one to some degree. I like it, but I just don't love it. So I'm gonna have to give this one a 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Cybertronian Beetle animated mode made by Discord, TF5 and YouTuber Fatelift. Which, yeah, okay, Fatelift is the guy who made this video. But I'm not gonna let his generous donation to my Patreon discourage me from maybe trashing some of his old modes. Trying to get a good look at this one. Again, I can see it's trying to replicate the alternate mode to animated. It looks a tad bit weird without the helicopter blades, but unlike the last one that actually had to kind of cheat and use the helicopter rotor blades. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I mean, I'm just saying. This one almost stands by its own. It doesn't give me helicopter vibes, it gives me like a weird jet mode. Almost like Jetfire's vehicle mode actually, the Blackbird from the movies. It kind of reminds me of that. I actually really like it, and I wouldn't mind rocking this when going into alternate mode. Like saying, yeah, this is Megatron's jet alt mode. I actually really like this one. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, we have the Orbital Assault Carrier first configuration hovering attack mode, which, Jesus, you really have to name it that long. Made by Fatelift again. I don't know much of what I'm looking at. When you look at this, it almost, for some weird reason, reminds me of Dark of the Moon Laserbeak, the toy. At least the upper section does. But not only do I not exactly know what I'm looking at, but at the same time, it looks like Megatron just is like mid-transformation. I think that's the thing that I don't like about this configuration. So I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10. Next up, we have the Orbital Assault Carrier configuration too. Apparently this is supposed to be like cruising strafing attack mode. Again, this still looks a lot like the previous one, and I didn't really like that from the start. And it almost looks like a train, at least the front of it does. I like it a bit more, but I still can't exactly tell what it is without reading the description. And I feel like that's the killer for me. But I like it a bit more, so I'm gonna have to give it a 5 out of 10. And then we had the last one of the Assault Carrier little trilogy, we'll call it. And honestly, I think this is definitely the strongest one of all of them. Like, there is apparently supposed to be like a speeder from Star Wars, more or less, in which he's supposed to actually be on the move. And I like the front of it. I don't like the back of it, like the hands just being loose up there. This could almost pass for a train. Almost. I like it, but I just don't like it that much. I'm gonna have to like bump up the score by 1 again and give it a 6 out of 10. And then we have the Mecha/Dino Godzilla mode, again made by Fatelift. I actually really like this one, with a bit more maybe touches here and there. I feel like this could be probably a very solid, like weird dinosaur alt mode for Megatron. And honestly, he could probably be a good pterodactyl like Pterosaur. It's because of like the little head that I get more bird vibes from this than dinosaur vibes. Which, I mean, yeah, dinosaur, birds, it's the same thing you could say. I know someone's gonna get some more with me in the comments, but still, I actually really like this one. I feel like this is heading into a right direction. It's just not quite there yet. Also, maybe the angle Fatelift chose wasn't the best, so there's that too. But I'm actually gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I actually feel like this is like onto something. Next up, we have a Hover Tank by the Chan on TFW 2005. Now, I actually really like this. I definitely do get tank vibes from this, which is a plus. And it looks distinct enough from the base tank and all the other ones I've seen. This is like what Fatelift was doing, but actually, taken to its maximum. Everything just looks compact and like it belongs. Nothing's like hanging uselessly. So I actually really like this one. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Then we have a Terminator-style turret, also by the Chan, the Mad Lad from TFW 2005. This honestly looks really good. I'm not sure if I like him as much as the turrets, but it's definitely on the same line of thinking here. I'm actually gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I like it, but not that much. And lastly, we have another alternate jet. And honestly, this is probably the most streamlined out of all the jets I have seen. I know we've seen something similar like to this earlier in the video, but this one actually looks honestly official. Like, if you were to tell me this is actually official, I would probably believe it. It's the jet mode, but it actually looks more, I don't know, intimidating and bigger, which I feel like is what the jet mode for Megatron is missing. So I'm actually gonna give this a 9 out of 10 as well. I actually really like this for a base Megatron jet mode. But yeah, guys, in total that's 28 alternate modes for Megatron. And keep in mind, these are the ones that people have, made up till now. Maybe after I release this video, it's gonna inspire a new resurgence of people also wanting to mod this figure. Because apparently it's surprisingly easy to alternate Megatron into a variety of things. At least no one has made him into a toilet yet. But now you guys are probably wondering, and the point of this video is to rank them from worst to best. So I want to rank these from my least favorite all the way to my most favorite. So yeah, at the very bottom it will definitely be the Orbital Assault Carrier. I just can't tell what it is, don't like it as much. Next we'll have the Orbital Assault Carrier Part 2, again, what I said about the first one also applies to the second one. Then we have the submarine, which, but yeah, it's cool and all. If you told me that the submarine, I wouldn't have guessed, alright? Then we have Orbital Assault Carrier 3. Fatelift, I'm sorry. But again, it just doesn't look that interesting to me, and I don't like some of the parts that are just kinda hanging. And then we have the hand. It's cool in concept. I feel like you're kinda, stretching it there. But at least someone does look like a hand, so that's why I give it a 6. Then we have the Terminator turret. It's cool, but I feel like others have made it much better. The alternate stock tank mode, again, it's cool. I just don't think it quite lives up to the hype. The jetpack for Studio Series 38, again, it's cool. I really like it, it's just that other people have made it better. The Tetra Jet, maybe it's the angle of the picture, but to me, it doesn't look much like a Tetra Jet. Maybe if I had a better picture, it will look different, I will rank it a bit higher. But as it stands, I just don't find it that impressive. The turret is actually kinda cool, but again, I just seen a better one earlier in the video. Then we have the Dino mode. I actually really like this one. I feel like it's the weakest out of the 8. I see the potential here and I think it's onto something. It's not quite there yet, but I really do like the direction that it's headed. Then we have Metal Gear Rex, which again, it's a very obvious reference and something very simple that surprisingly not a lot of people had thought of. And honestly, it fits so well, I just could not help but not give it an 8 out of 10. Then we have the base jet and the base tank. Again, this is kind of cheating as to how Hasbro made them. I think they look cool. They just don't quite blow me out of the water. Next up, we got the hover tank. Honestly, this looks really cool. And I would kind of like this to be like Megatron's base tank mode instead of the one from Hasbro. Then the Transformers Prime alternate mode, which is, again, it's so simple. And it works so well. I don't have much to say about this. This looks almost like a finished product. By that extension, we also have the alternate jet mode, which, while it might be a little similar to TFP Alt Mode, just with, you know, inverse directions, I actually like it just as much. Then we have the alternate jet, which again, much like the other ones, it's just a matter of preference at this point. I think alternate jets look solid. The animated helicopter, again, it is kind of cheating, but it looks so well. It's honestly insane. Though I have to admit that this is a bit of cheating, because if you don't have the animated leader class Megatron, this figure is like unattainable for you. Next up we have the ostrich, which I have to give it a 9 out of 10 just for the meme factor alone and the fact that it works so well. Next up we have the Spire Tank, which, you know, it might be the photography, like, you know, swaying me into giving it a 9 out of 10, but the fact that it almost looks like all of the Decepticons can use it to, like, you know, shoot at Autobots in the distance just makes the kid inside me be like, yes, good. I need to give it a 9 out of 10. Then we have the elephant, which is one of those that it just works. So 9 out of 10. And then we have the 10 out of 10s. Including the jetpack for Studio Series 102, which honestly at this point it doesn't even look like Megatron, it looks like an upgrade kit. And when you made it that far, in which I can't even tell that this is actually a separate figure, I think you sir did something right. Then we have the gun mode, which, I mean, it's Megatron as a gun. It looks so natural. It looks almost intentional to the point that I feel like Hasbro might do some suing. So you know what? 10 out of 10. And finally, we have the robot mode, which again, is just sex. But yeah, guys, that's my video for Studio Series Megatron and its many alternate modes. Man, this guy can transform into so many things. And I bet that after I release this video, people are gonna wanna make their own different versions of Megatron. If you guys wanna submit anything, put it on the Discord server, and maybe in the future, if we get like 30 more modes, I will make a part 2 of this video, ranking more. Or I could even do another video going over some more fan designs. I know people like to custom transform their Transformers into things that they were never really intended. Toilet brawn. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, out of all these Megatrons, which one's your favorite? Have you ever, you know, custom alternate fan modded your own Transformers figure? Or is this something that you never seen before, or you never even done before? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see me do another, you know, fan mode video, you know, ranking them from best to worst. This was actually a pretty fun video to make, cause like some of these are so insane and some of these are just ridiculous. But you know what? I love it. I love it when the fans, you know, use their own creativity to make some really wild stuff like this. I think that is one of the best parts of the Transformers fandom that gets, unfortunately, you know, not brought up as much. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you all enjoy. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that annoying YouTuber stuff that the algorithm likes so much. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Anyways, guys, before we go, shout out to our super incredible Patreons and channel members: Scout, James Newbold, Crawley666, TF Cypher, Legend of Soup, King Sparta, Crazy T-Rex, Orion64 Studios, Winso, Inferno65, Super Sailors Homer Hedgehogs, Xavier.God, Stitch Productions, Drakey Horror 45, Grub Lordo, and Predaking Hunter Plays. And also our channel members: Grub Lordo, Optimation Reviews, TF Cypher, Laser Sin, The Crazy T-Rex, and Lord Skywarp. Thank you guys for your support, it's much appreciated. If you become a channel member or a patron, you get access to exclusive videos I haven't released yet. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to, and access to channel exclusive emojis and a bunch of other stuff. You also get a shout out to your channel in the description down below, so be sure to check out those guys, because a lot of them are up and coming YouTubers who need all the help they can get. But keep in mind this is entirely optional, because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys for your support, it's much appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.